Hi, and welcome back. This is Rob Thomas, your everything Microsoft Enterprise Cloud Architect. Today, we're going to cover a little bit of a hard topic. This one is Microsoft Virtual Machines hybrid infrastructure. Talking about hybrid infrastructure, scoping it out, setting that up. This topic is, again, it's a little bit more challenging. Now, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, and that is going to be our enterprise software solutions. These guys are great, our software dudes. I do highly recommend you reach out to them for any of your Microsoft SQL Server, Windows Server, SharePoint, Azure, Copilot, Power BI, and Office 365 and Dynamics solutions. They work with a lot of great companies. They work with me. I highly recommend them as you go down this path. Now, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So as we dig deeper into virtual machines and understanding infrastructure, the hybrid infrastructure could have been a little bit more daunting to really get a grasp of what is a hybrid infrastructure. And basically, it's the perfect blend of on-premise IT and computing, cloud computing infrastructure. Now, this is whether you're looking to expand, comply with regulations, or just optimize your performance. The hybrid infrastructure might be the best solution for you. Let's dig a little deeper. Now, hybrid infrastructure basically allows you as a business to connect your on-premise data centers with the cloud. So that's the gist of it, right? And when I say cloud, like I'm going to say Microsoft Azure. I have an on-premise. I have a server. I set up my own colo. I have my servers, right? And then I'm building my little mini data center. Let's say I'm at a small business office. We do 50 million revenue, and I need an actual couple of servers in that office. So I have it all set up, and I manage it, and that's my on-premise. Now I want to get my on-premise, my cloud solutions to optimize that specifically for, based on regulation compliance. I want to expand my investment. But the other big thing is performance optimization. So that's the things that are driving me to make those decisions and do that. Now, because sometimes moving everything to the cloud isn't ideal. Again, right? Maybe you have some data restrictions based off of something going on in your region, or you want to make the most of your existing IT setup, right? The IT infrastructure will let you enjoy cloud scalability and maintain control and security over your data. So I hope that definition is really helpful for you to understand the infrastructure. And, I want to dig into some common scenarios, right? Now, common reasons companies will choose a hybrid infrastructure is, I mentioned earlier, regulation compliance. Now, some industries require strong data localizations due to laws and security standards. Another one is extending your IT investment. Companies that already have a expensive on-premise hardware infrastructure want to use it alongside with their cloud resources as they expand that investment in that direction. And the last thing is performance optimization. Now, this is a big one. Placing critical applications closer to end users help reduce latency and improve speed. Now, I work for companies where we've had on-premise and then we had cloud solutions. And this is where, hybrid cloud infrastructure was very key to make the company very successful. Now, this is a good slide I like, which is that hybrid solution decision tree. Like you go through those steps. I want to spend a lot of time on this, but this is kind of a pretty standard decision tree as you decide just to figure out like how I'm going to set up my hybrid infrastructure. And then this is another side about Azure Hybrid Service Matrix. So you're looking at your services and you're trying to look at how am I going to have my on-premise, my cloud infrastructure. I'm really going to try to get better performance optimization. I'm going to try to stay in compliance with regulations. So it's a bit of a mouthful, right? But again, it's like, hey, what are the benefits? Like, what do I get out of this? Just kind of want to bring that in the screen because it was a little bit off there. So the benefits, why should a business care about a hybrid infrastructure? And here are the top 4 reasons why. Flexibility, you're moving workloads between clouds and on-premise as needed. Cost savings, you want to really reduce your costs, reduce hardware expenses by offloading some of the processes to the cloud, right? So I'm not buying more hardware inside of my on-premise infrastructure. I can offload those expenses. And then security and compliance, as I talked about. I want to keep my data centers my sensitive data on premises while using a cloud for computing power. So I want to really give more power, computing power, and easily scale that up by introducing like more virtual machines, right? And then better performance. This is the big one, massive big one. I've seen in 24 years experience is I need performance. And this is where the hybrid infrastructure just really shines, like minimizing lag by running apps where they perform best. So if I have apps that are running in cloud, I can really minimize lag time and really get better performance out of that, right? Again, you're going to go back to the decision tree. You're going to go back to the services matrix as you introduce a strategy that's really going to help you be very successful. And this is really great. You're a small company. You're really starting to think about how do I reduce any future IT a cost that I can't see in the future. I really want to be more strategic and be smart how I go down that right path. All right, now I want to really get into Microsoft solutions for your hybrid infrastructure. And Microsoft offers powerful tools to make the hybrid infrastructure work seamlessly. Let's take a look at a few, right? So we're going to look at Azure Arc. Now, this is a bridge that extends Azure services to on-prem, edge, and even multi-cloud environments. Now, Azure VPN Gateway and Express Routes. This is a secure, high-speed connection between on-premise and Azure. And this is extremely important. Like your Azure VPN Gateway and Express Route, you really need that high-speed connection so you're able to pass data from your on-premise to your cloud infrastructure. Can't stress why this is very important. Azure Backup and Recovery. This protects your data with a cost-effective and scalable backup solution. I want to make sure I'm able to back up my data. I want to make sure I can recover my data if there was any disaster. And then last, the Azure Active Directory, AD, which I've talked about in previous videos. This ensures security identity management, including single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. So I want to make sure my AD that's on-premise, my AD in the cloud are all connected together and seamlessly. I don't have a disconnect between the two networks. All right, so the hybrid infrastructure offers best of both worlds. Keeps your data secure while using the power of the cloud. Now, if you want to learn more about Microsoft Azure solution, hit the like button and subscribe to more tech insights. Also, drop me a comment if you have any questions. And thank you so much for going on this journey with me. See you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.